I apologize for yesterday. I arrived uninvited.
No, I'm grateful. Thanks to you, Mizuki has her voice back.
No, I didn't do anything.
Time to look around this place again. It's the front door. It's a shoebox. At least he didn't sniff it again. The clock. There's a calendar and a strange object on the shelf. A wooden shelf. A bookshelf. There are no books in it, but it's definitely a bookshelf. Like a sake restaurant with no sake. Bookshelf by the wall. The lights are off. There are a lot of dishes. Microwave. A refrigerator.
Date, a riddle. A man-eating alligator lives in a river. There are no bridges or boats. How do you cross?
In the refrigerator?
Well, let's see. You jump across?
Wrong. The solution is simple. You just swim across.
What about the man-eating alligator?
He's at a convention out of town.
Oh, I get it. From last time. The animal convention, but the elephant couldn't visit because he's in the refrigerator.
He isn't in the river.
The refrigerator. It's a kitchen counter. The dining table. Tom is sitting on the sofa. There's a door in the back of the room. A cushion.
I've been wondering about that picture.
Iris drew it when she was 12.
That's you on the left and Iris in the middle, correct?
Yes,
And who's on the right?
the man I was dating at the time. It was only for 3 months, but I met him about 6 years ago. Have you been to the Ikume Shrine in the Minato district? I was praying there one day, and I heard a voice. Well, more like a groan. Behind the shrine, I saw a man sitting on the ground. He was bleeding badly from his stomach. I took out my phone to call an ambulance, but he grabbed my wrist, and he held me, and then he kissed me. I was shocked, but when I stared into his eyes, then I heard footsteps, and then a bunch of men yelling. They were looking for him. When the voices and footsteps faded, he let me go. Don't call an ambulance, and don't call the cops. I knew he had to be a criminal, so I took him to an underground clinic I knew.
You took
Why
him to
do you
a
know
mob
an
doctor?
Why do you know an underground clinic?
Renju's friend. I
Oh,
only met
right.
him once. Even though we had our first kiss seconds after meeting each other, it took a long time before I got to see him again. The first time we held hands was when we watched a horror movie together. The first time I took his arm was when we went to a haunted house in an amusement park. But I wasn't the one who grabbed him. A zombie jumped out and scared us, and he clung onto my arm.
Ah.
He had that cute side to him.
Oh. Sorry.
He had that cute side to him. And I was falling in love. Our second kiss was in the car. It's cliché, I know. But we drove around at night, looking at all the lights. We parked our car near a warehouse and kissed. I don't think we ever said I love you. But we both knew. We were getting closer and closer. I introduced him to Iris about a month after I first met him. Iris never had a father figure in her life before. She warmed up to him immediately, and treated him like a real dad. From then on, it was always the three of us together. We would go to the beach, to the river, the zoo, the amusement park. Going to barbecues with another person was a new experience for me and Iris. Everything felt so fresh. Every day was so exciting. Oh, sorry. You asked about the picture. He wanted to make okonomiyaki one day. He was working with the hot plate. It was ridiculous. He was trying to flip one, and it flew up in the air and landed right on my head. Iris saw the whole thing and laughed and laughed. I hadn't seen her laugh like that in a long time. I was having so much fun that I put an okonomiyaki on their heads too. Plop, plop. I added the bonito flakes and mayo and sauce. At this point, there was no going back. Eggs flew, flour going everywhere. The room was not a pretty sight. After our battle, we laughed like crazy. We were rolling around on the floor. So Iris decided to draw it. It's nostalgic. But those days didn't last. 6 years ago, in November, a man with a gun broke into our house. Fortunately, Iris wasn't home at the time. But my boyfriend was. That's why the gunman came. He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill him, and he would never stop. He pulled the trigger. I tried to protect him. The bullet hit me, but the police arrived. They were both arrested and incarcerated.
Why was he after your boyfriend?
Before he met me, he committed some terrible crime. I don't know the details, but it was awful. So he became a target for underworld criminals. I don't know exactly why, but I know that he betrayed them in some way.
May I ask you something?
Of course.
I had heard that that incident was a random break-in gone wrong.
Oh. That's not true. I lied about it at the time, because of Mizuki. Mizuki is Iris's friend. If she found out, Iris would find out too. I didn't want Iris to know.
Know what?
That I was dating a criminal. He was her father figure. Iris looked up to him. If she found out about his past...
There is a drawing on the wall. Iris drew it when she was 12. That was a tough story. Ceiling fan is spinning. Yes. Yeah. Really sad, really enjoyable, really happy. Telephone in the corner. Blooming winter iris. It's supposed to be a sign of a good news and hope. You can see the trees and sky outside. There are some elementary workbooks on the table, but looking closely on in one in the middle is different. How to handle a monster parent. There are elementary workbooks on a self-help book on the table. There is elementary workbooks and there's self-help book on the table. There is some tea on the coffee table. Steam is rising from the tea. There are pineapples growing in the corner. Really? That's what I thought anyways, but then I realized it was just a plant. A plant. Well then, let's hear it. The speaker system. No? Nothing? Really? I guess this is supposed to be a heavy moment with that painting and all. Hitomi is touching her right shoulder with her left hand.
Yes, today's a holiday. Iris isn't in school. She went to Lemniscate.
Yeah,
Yes, I
saw her
already know
earlier.
that.
Is that so?
What holiday is it? This must be close to winter because the winter iris is blooming, and I presume it comes that it goes and grows or blooms in winter. And the only holiday I can think of would be Christmas, but Japan got quite a lot of holidays, I think.
Did something happen to him? You asked me that yesterday.
There's no point hiding it. I told her about Renju's disappearance.
Right from the hospital? I'm sorry. I have no idea. I've put Iris through so much. I was 19 and single when she was born. People didn't take kindly to that. But Iris was such a fighter. She always protected me. I remember, one time at the nursery, some of the other mothers were talking about me. Iris ran up to them and said, "Don't talk about my mommy!" I'm supposed to be the mother, but it's Iris who's always protecting me. They died when I was 17. I was an orphan, and my relatives lived far away. They might have taken me in, but I was already in my second to last year of high school. It wasn't a good idea for me to move that late. So I decided to stay here, by myself.
And take care of Iris.
Yes, all alone. But Renju would help sometimes. It was always just me and her. Vacations, barbecues, zoos, amusement parks. Just me and her. Oh, that reminds me. When Iris was 5, there was a children's theater show in Bloom Park. It was called Milky Moon. It was about girls as magical space rangers and such. She loved singing and dancing. Even as a kid, whenever she heard music, her body would start moving. It was a quirk of hers. And she did it at the show, too. Toward the end, when all the Milky Moon girls were dancing to the ending song, Iris climbed up onto the stage and danced with them. I tried to stop her, of course. I grabbed her arm and tried to get her to sit, but before I knew it, she was up there, dancing. And everyone was so excited. Even I was dancing by the end of it. When it was over, she had the biggest smile on her face. "Mama, you're a good dancer." That's the kind of girl she was.
You know, you make me appreciate Iris more as a character than she does. And you're a pretty good character as well.
Whenever she sees someone playing music on the street, she'll run up and join them, right then and there. Music at the train station, the crosswalk beeping, even at convenience stores. When their little chime played, she would start dancing. It almost got her into trouble once. She was on the jungle gym and a truck drove by. It was playing loud music out the windows. She climbed up to the top and started dancing, but she lost her balance and fell. She fractured her leg pretty badly. It was on a Sunday, and it was hard to find an open emergency care. I was carrying her on my back, running and running through town. I could still hear her crying. "Will I still be able to dance, Mommy? Can I still dance?" She cried and cried into my shoulder. It was the only time she ever cried so much. No, that's not true. There was one other time.
And when was that?
6 years ago. I was the victim of a shooting. After the surgery, Iris came in running. And she was sobbing.
Mommy, don't die! Don't die! Please don't die, Mommy! Don't die!
I swore to myself then that I would protect her, no matter what. Iris is everything to me, more important than my own life.
This is all getting really heavy.
Date, we can't spend time reminiscing. We have to get moving.
Yeah, let's go.
Where do we got to go? This headquarters, right. We returned to Abyss HQ with Aiba. I needed to talk to the boss. As I entered the room, the boss smiled like she was waiting for me.
I took care of what you asked for.
Number 89?
He's here, in the interrogation room.
I'm on it.
You'll go without me this time. I have some errands to run. One of the higher-ups needs me. I'll have Pewter go to the interrogation with you.
Understood.
You're the guy in the dream.
Let's get started.
The camera used for the interrogation. There are pipes on the wall of the room. The surveillance camera near the entrance. This room is reflected in the mirror. The desk in the middle of the room. The man knows as 89 is sitting right in front of me.
Djibouti.
Northeast Africa, a small republic of roughly 900,000.
I don't take kindly to stupid lies.
Number 89.
Your real name.
I don't know, I forgot. I don't know. It's not like I'm counting. Oh, you know about that. It's true. I called Sejima's secretary. I got him on the line and I told him something very important.
You spoke with him directly?
Yeah. I told him to call somebody.
Somebody?
I can't tell you anymore.
All right. Let's get back to the topic at hand. 2 days ago, you called our investigation office. You said you know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That's right.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
Yes, I promise.
You're lying. You don't want to release me.
Well, yes,
That's fine. I was expecting
it
this
works.
anyway. I just wanted a good excuse to leave the prison.
What do you mean?
You really want to know? Here's what I mean!
Ow. Ow. Ow.
You'll make a good hostage for me. Take me to the exit.
Don't hurt Pewter, you asshole.